Look at it. Ethan, this is good for you. Yeah, you like that. Come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Your bag's open, dude.
Come on. I know.
Is it alright?
So he puts his candy. Yeah, he just gets it and then he just. Why do you have like a metal?
It's a fishing box.
Oh, I know. It looks like a metal box.
Something going on back there? Oh, really?
It's not scary. Okay, then. He's not. DJ, zip it all.
Yellow Jackie. Yellow Jackie. Hello, Jackie.
She ran away for a reason. Well, the dog, yeah. A circus came to town, and one of the women in doing a circus act was killed, and she supposedly is buried here. But we couldn't find out a lot of information about her, and we found that trying to research this tour, a lot of people were not forthcoming with a lot of information. But another interesting thing is those two trees back there. That is also behind that is also part of our tour. It looks like a field. And ever since I have been in Boone, since '89, ASU students like to sunbathe there. But what they didn't realize was it is part of the cemetery. It's the black part of the cemetery. And historically, they were segregated. White and black cemeteries were segregated. In the last few years, the African American community has put up a monument with all the names of the people buried there. So they are being honored. And I know, I don't think the ASU students knew what it was, or they wouldn't have done that. But one thing that was also sad to me was that there are 3 Union soldiers buried there. So we have veterans that are buried there and deserve respect. And I'm thinking there is a separate monument. I know their name is on at least the big monuments that's there, and there might be a separate monument to them also. And she said she was able to jump up out of bed, get the light on, and there was absolutely nobody there. She looked under the bed, she looked in the closet. She said between jumping up and getting the light on, there really was no time for anybody to go anywhere. And there was absolutely nobody there. And so she said she was about 2 o'clock in the morning. She went outside and waited till her roommate came home. And she said all kinds of things happened to her. And we've heard stories of people. One man last year was on the tour. He had been here in the 1980s. And he said he and a buddy of his decided for Halloween to throw a party in East. And they set up a table in the dorm, had food and things for people to walk by and get and just keep going. And the guy on the tour said he got under the table and his job was to scare people